Thank you. Today I'm going to talk about how to use data to create personal guest experiences, and then hopefully get into the specifics of what we have been discussing since the morning. But before, I have a guest that I have to set it up, and then he likes to stand up, not sit. I need 1 minute. These are my kids, Arel and Lina, 13 and 15 years old. I'm Turkish, if you didn't get it from my accent. They were born and raised in New York City. And every year I take them to Turkey so that they can connect my family, get close with my culture. And then every time when we go, we do a road trip and then visit different cultural and historic sites. This year, when we landed, I took away their smartphones. But that's the responsible thing to do as a parent. My wife told me to do so. But also I wanted them to spend time with my family and really pay attention to what they are seeing. But it turned out that it was a really bad decision for me because they were constantly asking questions and then treating me like a smartphone. I thought asking questions were dumb when they were toddlers, but like they keep asking questions. What is this place? Who built this? What is this food on the menu? Do I like it? Like nonstop. And then from your smiles, some of you are relating with this. And now you have hundreds and thousands of guests asking similar questions. But how much you know them as I know my kids? I can manage their expectations. But also, I can yell at them to stop. All right, so today, as we all discussed, it's not new. Guests are expecting more than answers. They want personal experiences so that they feel understood and valued. Now it can be done with AI, as we all discussed, because there's tons of data. If you connect your AI to your data, then AI can learn from it and then provide a tailored answer. And then along the way, collect more data and then help you improve your guest operations. And those AI agents doesn't have to look like a chatbot. It can also provide an engaging and memorial experience. So if we're moving on, I would like to introduce Winston Churchill. Winston Churchill, you're on the stage at Destination AI. Can you please introduce yourself?
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests of Destination AI, I am Winston Churchill, a humble servant of the Crown and a staunch advocate for progress and innovation. In the face of challenges, I have always believed that success is not final, failure is not fatal, it is the courage to continue that counts. Let us embark on this journey together, exploring the transformative power of AI in the realm of hospitality.
Winston Churchill, we have a guest. He wants to have a dinner under the stars without notice. What's your recommendation?
A delightful challenge indeed. As I have often said, difficulties mastered are opportunities won. For our esteemed guests' impromptu desire, let us procure the finest champagne, arrange a table in the garden under the twinkling stars, and perhaps provide a telescope for a touch of adventure. Just as in war, we must adapt swiftly and deliver with grace and excellence.
We have a guest, very unhappy, and then he wants to leave the hotel. He's very important for us. Can you please convince him in your own style and address to him?
Dear esteemed guest, I understand your discontent, and I am here to rectify the situation with the utmost urgency. As I have often found, courage is what it takes to stand up and speak. Courage is also what it takes to sit down and listen. Allow me the opportunity to address your concerns personally and ensure that your stay is transformed into a memorable experience befitting your stature. Your satisfaction is of paramount importance, and I shall spare no effort in restoring your faith in our hospitality.
And Winston Churchill, what would you expect as a guest?
As a guest, I would expect nothing short of royalty. For, as I famously remarked, true greatness lies in the details. From the precise temperature of my brandy to the fluffiness of the pillows, every aspect of my experience should exude excellence and attentiveness. It is in these finer details that true hospitality shines, creating a stay fit for a king.
As you can see, an AI chatbot can also provide a memorable experience. It doesn't have to only answer questions, but can engage in a conversation, which we all talked about previously. In order to achieve this level of personalization, there are a few key components that has been discussed, and I'm going to talk about how to do it and how we are doing it. First of all, AI should be trained based on your custom data. We talked about predictive AI, generative AI. We don't know what goes inside the generative AI, but you can put boundaries within the generative AI. On a custom database, you can customize the language model so that the AI knows only what you want AI to know about your guests, about your operations, about your facility. And also, still you can give access to the internet so that can fetch more data. But again, that's under the control. It's very important. The second part to this is about the data. So large language models are not capable of processing numerical data. But you have a lot of numerical data about your customers' behaviors and statistics. So our AI model can read any amount of, analyze any type of data, textual and numerical, and any amount of data. Which means now AI can first look at this, the financial numbers, and then by looking at the textual data, provide context, understand the data. That's why we have analysts, right? Even in consultancy, we have different roles where they dig the data and then they take it to the senior people, so they try to make sense of it. AI can do it in real time. Here are two examples from our clients. One is from Louisiana State Parks. Louisiana State Parks have 21 parks across the state. Each one has a different landscape, different facilities, different resources, different visitation numbers and visitors. What they do is they go in and ask the AI system, this is as it collects data, what are the cost-effective ways of improving the guest experience at Poverty Point State Park? So our AI system goes first, looks at the financials of this park, looks at the revenue sources, then looks at the type of this park, what resources are available, then goes and looks at all the other parks, finds the similar parks, looks at their financials, and then looks at the customer data, all these conversations, to better understand what customers are looking for, and then gives the answer. Versus in Japan, multi-language service is very important. What they're asking for is, what are the most frequently asked questions in Chinese in the month of May through the website, so that they want to know what Chinese speakers are looking for before arriving to the destination. So this model can answer the most sophisticated, complicated questions by making sophisticated analysis. At the same time, your model, your product needs to be scalable. So scalable in terms of type of data that it supports, which we talked about, in terms of real-time data as well, and all the APIs. So you don't have to only collect them one, but as you work with your other vendors, if it can collect data from there, collide, and then make analysis that makes it a scalable model. And the third one is multi-language. You don't have to train. The model already speaks all the languages. The third one is accessibility, which I think we talked about it. Accessibility means sign language. Accessibility means different fonts, voiceover, audio description, so that you are providing a more inclusive service. And then also, as you are engaging with your clients, in order to provide a more memorable and consistent engagement with the brand, they should be able to access it to a website, to their mobile devices, maybe a kiosk when they arrive to the reception, and in-room hardware options. So to summarize, in order to turn your data into a personalized guest experience, you have to make sure that it is safe. Safety means it is putting boundaries and then training with only your data, and then limiting all the other information so that it doesn't bring a wrong information for the clients. That's number one. Number two, you have to make sure that it is scalable in terms of languages and accessibility features. Number three, it should be able to process any type of data, make correlations, so it's not limited with the textual information, but you can use any type of data that you have. And then lastly, at the end of the day, it's a guest experience. Make sure that it's engaging, it's personal, it's a character, so that they feel good about their engagement regardless of the platform. So just I'm on time. I'm here with Winston Churchill and then my co-founder, Andrew Feinberg, to answer your questions. Thank you.
Yeah, we have a couple questions from the audience. Maybe they want to ask Mr. Churchill a question. There we go. Okay.
Very impressive, thank you. What happens to the information in the European Union, GDPR? How do you manage that?
So this information that we collect, first of all, it's your organization's information, right? That's where you're uploading your information. And then the information that we are collecting from the users can be anonymous, according to wherever the regulation is. So I don't need to know. Churchill doesn't know that right now he's speaking with me. But it is also done through logging in system. So if it is Hilton and I'm logged into my Hilton account, then it brings all the information about me. So it's it meets all the requirements. In the US, as we do a lot of government state works, our requirements are even higher. I don't know how many of you are familiar with FedRAMP. So all of our systems are FedRAMP approved to make sure that everything secure for the guests and then for your organization.
But do you keep the information in a given jurisdiction, or do you move it around on some cloud, public cloud? How does this work? Any of those work. It's a platform, so it can be on a cloud, it can be in your cloud, or it can be on a local server. Okay, thanks.
Anyone else? Yep.
Hi. Liked Winston Churchill. Just a question, right? Just looping back to the example that you showed, right, where you're giving an example of a park where you're getting into the financial data and then also looking up other parks' financial data. Am I to believe that those financial data are also available to you as your contract, or like how does that data lookups work? That's one part. And just other part to the question is because most of us realize it once we are into it is that AI has a lot to do with data. So what's the role of data in your overall structure and how you're setting up things work?
For the first part, it's your data. Depending on which platform you are using, it can directly connect to your system. So it stays in your properties, under your properties. If you don't have, we have our own service. Can you explain the second part again, please?
Yeah. The second part is data modeling, right? Mm-hmm. There's a
Yes. That's the secret sauce. And in actual, the short answer is maybe we don't need data scientists because we have AI. So we use a lot of AI to cover those grounds too.
All right. Well, thank you, Yigit. And TimeLooper, you'll be around for more questions. Let me ask, I think we found our next hotel concierge, by the way. Does he come with a cigar too? Can you make that happen, or?
That's an upsell.
Okay. I mean, it looks just like Gary Oldman from The Darkest Hour. I love it. Well, thank you again. I appreciate it.